Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope your week is off to a good start. Good Monday here, just typical Monday, going by really fast. Got up and did the usual errands this morning, took care of a few things, and yeah, before you know it, the day's almost gotten away. But successful day, and a good start to the week. Today I want to talk about living your best life, true health. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you have not already subscribed to my channel, go down and hit that subscribe button now. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. We're going to step back a little bit and let everything look at the big picture a bit. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit of micro versus macro here. I think there's really more, I talk mostly about food here, but I think there's really, well, I mean, I don't think, I know there is, that's just tends to be the subject I talk about most, but there's way more to true health, a really healthy life, than just food. And that's what I call the micro. It's micro versus macro to me. This stuff about now you're not only saying it's raw diet or nothing. Now you're saying now you're debating little, okay, well, you got to make sure you eat it exactly like this or like that. And I'm just not into the micro part of it. Not to a certain extent, no. I'm not just saying go eat anything willy-nilly or just kind of try to do, the best you can. But I'm not into breaking that thing down to the next level and constantly obsessing over food. And I could have probably gone that way. I decided early on, I'm like, look, there's just way too much focus on the food and focus on just the smallest minute details of the food, when a lot of people that are doing that are not really focused on true health. The big picture, the macro, and that's basically what the macro is the big picture. The micro, just to make it real simplified, are the details, those little small things. There's so much more that goes into health than just the food, like I say. And I know it's kind of almost a cliche word, but I'll explain it and let you know what I mean by it, is balance. It's got to be a balance of a number of different things. Balance in life, balance day to day, mental balance, physical balance, emotional balance, spiritual balance, and just not going over the deep end or getting too, carried away with anything. There's the food. The food is big, though. I don't want to downplay the food. The food is probably, changing the way that I ate, changing my diet, my lifestyle, coupled with not just changing the way I eat, but also getting rid of the booze, was probably, like I've mentioned many times, kind of the catalyst. It cleaned me out to where my head was working halfway, I say, clear. And it helped me start making better decisions. So it opened me up to be able to think of bigger things and how to really look at health, or how I want to see my health play out in years, or what I feel is my best chance to live the happiest, healthiest life that I can in however many years that I have left. So there is the food. There's the exercise. You probably thought I was going to go real heavy on the exercise. I wouldn't even necessarily say the exercise is a super big one either, although it does play a very important part, a key part. It's more about, sorry about that, it's a little cooler today. I didn't think the air conditioner would come on, but anyhow, with the exercise, and we don't even have to use the word exercise. And when I say this for health reasons, you don't have to necessarily picture going to the gym every day. You don't have to even necessarily picture taking up yoga, or doing yoga classes, or doing this class, or becoming a runner, or any specific okay, here's a thing I've got to do. It's a workout activity. Although I enjoy a lot of those things, it's just simply moving your body. We need good food. We need good whole plant-based foods. We need fresh food. And we do need to move our body. We need to move our body. But for a lot of people, good vigorous walking has been just found to be so good for our health. I mean, don't take my word for it. Just go to Google. Go to Google and Google walking for exercise, walking for your health. Just good, a certain amount of walking is very, very good for you. But we need to move our body. We need to eat well. there needs to be, I say needs, and I don't know, I kind of hesitate using that word, but I do believe it needs. It doesn't have to be what I do, but something for the inner practice, something for that mind, body, spirit connection. For me, it's meditation and just mindfulness in general, but it's just about going inside, having that quiet time, finding that quiet place. That's just one of the best recharges you can ever do. When I do a meditation and I'm finished, I just kind of have this like feeling of, wow, I just feel good. I can't put it any other. That's the simplest way I can put it right there. I just feel good. I feel recharged. I feel fresh. My mind feels calm. My mind feels still. So we need that. And that, I believe, a practice like that is what helps keep our emotional balance well too, because any one of these things can throw our emotional balance off. I think I see people all the time that are so unbalanced emotionally and mentally, yet they're like, they think they're eating because they're bam, it's all about the food, and they don't have any inner practice. They don't have any stress relief, so to speak. And that would be the next one too, is just whether you do it like that's more, I don't necessarily lump them together, meditation, inner practice for stress relief, because that's not necessarily the purpose. It's more of a spiritual thing, but it does help you with the stress too. Just the simple fact, what's it called? The parasympathetic nervous system. When you're meditating, when you're just doing breath work, just by following your breath, you tend to slow down your breath, and that creates a calming effect on the body, and that's very good on the body, because stress, nobody ever talks about that. It's all about, oh my God, if you eat this, you're not going to be as healthy. But stress is much more of a killer than eating bad. It's worse of a killer than not exercising. It's worse. Some people say, I don't know about this one, they say it's worse than smoking cigarettes or even being a heavy drinker too. But stress kills. So that's something too. It's just, maybe people talk about decluttering these days and minimalizing their life. Maybe sometimes you need to minimalize all that activity in your life. I watch a lot of people, especially here in North America and the Western world, and they've just set up their life. And if you even say anything, they're like, well, that's just how it is. I have to do that. I've got 3 kids, or I've got to do this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but, make decisions. You've got these kids, but it's almost like, okay, you got 3 kids, but mommy and daddy have to work 87 hours a week apiece to make things happen. And a lot of times they're doing that with the best of intentions, to give the best of everything. But people aren't spending time together. People don't have time. Listen, that's something in life. And I know a lot of people will just like, oh my God, think that's, that's childish to think of. But when you say, I don't have time to eat well, when I don't have time to exercise, I don't have time for this and that, it's almost like, well, then what's life about? It's just like this rat race of like, we're surviving every day. And I don't think that, hey, when I'm talking about like people that have choices. For some people, life is a day-to-day survival. It's about scratching out enough money to actually put food in your mouth. But, don't set up your world in this chaotic way. Don't take on, things that people take on as expenses. I'm getting way out there now, like the way people structure their lives. People are killing themselves. People are causing so much stress because they have to live in this big house that's, 2,000, 3,000 square feet, that's got all these rooms in there. And as a philosophy professor of mine once said, I can only be in one room at a time. So they've got these houses that they have to, work like dogs to be able to pay the mortgage. They've got a couple or 3 cars out there, so they've got a note on that. They're already saving for the kids' college fund, all the kids' activities. And it's just like, but what's it all for if that's all you're doing is working 80 hours a week, being so tired at the end of the day that you fall into bed at night? So balance in life. I mean, I'm not saying you can just lay around and be a bum, but, kind of a balance between that work and life. Work and your leisure time, work and your family. Sometimes people are like, I'm sacrificing it for the family, but you're not spending any time with the family. The family's not spending any time with you. Mostly they'd probably prefer to spend more time with you than have things. But that's just one of them. But like I say, there's got to be balance in life, and all these different things come into play. Hydration. You know, there's just so many. I could probably sit here and make this like an hour video if I just kept, oh, and this, oh, and that. But hydration, you know, that's part of health too. That's something that I try to share a lot on my social media now. And it all just kind of comes together. So if you're just doing one of those things, you're going, I mean, it's better. Doing anything good for yourself is better than doing nothing. But the more we're getting little bits, and it doesn't have to, when I'm saying something like this, it doesn't have to, you don't have to become a monk or take up or completely change your life. Just do what you can. Do what you can. If you don't have that much time, you know, to get out and take a walk after dinner in the evening. See, I just came up with another one. When you get out there, very, very, very important to me is that connection with nature and getting outside. You know, I go down to the park here usually every day. I'm out in my backyard a good bit. I'm out in my front yard a bit. I'm pretty much in a rural area, so I'm outside. I'm listening to birds. I'm connecting with the plants. So yeah, I'm actually touching. I got my hands on trees. Sometimes I just walk up to trees and connect with them. I'm watching that butterfly. I stop when I see the butterfly, you know. I don't, maybe not stop and smell the roses, but I stop and watch the butterfly. I stop and watch the bees. So there's all these just little things that come into play. And as goofy and as silly as I may be, that's why I'm happy. That's why I'm happy most of the time. I could probably, the one area that I could probably use a little bit more of, because they say it's good for your health too. I'm not lonely, but I could probably use some more human connection. You know, I'm in an area right now where I'm just here for a certain reason. My mom's here, and I'm here to be close to her. But otherwise, I don't know anybody around here. I'm not really looking to get connected into the community around here. I'm just kind of, you know, passing time in that way. But I think human connection is very important, and I make up for that a lot online with people that I enjoy talking to and staying in touch with. But yeah, I mean, you know, this one didn't have any hard bullet points today, but it's just to get you thinking about that it's not one thing. Stop obsessing about this food. Stop asking 18 million questions to everybody and worrying about, oh, am I going to do this just right? Am I going to eat this banana exactly right? Am I opening it at the right time? Is it perfectly ripe? Could it have been a day riper? You're going to drive yourself crazy doing stuff like that. So anyhow, that is true health. Work on those different areas. Work on other, you know, things that you're not doing. Maybe I thought of a few of them for you today. Maybe you can think of some other ones that would make your life better, that would make your day today more pleasant, you know, that would put a smile on your face. I'm telling you, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I didn't live like I live today. I consider that winning every day. I consider that a success because my mind's untroubled. There's a smile on my face. Even when I am a little bit worried about something, have a little bit of anxiety about my situation sometime from day to day, it's not all that heavy, and I have tools to deal with it. So anyhow, hope that wasn't too rambling for a Monday. If you guys enjoyed this one, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.